The team is back on the road and headed to Northbranch, Minnesota. The scenic journey will take them around Mille Lacs Lake and through small town Minnesota. Round 2 of the MNRC Racing Series is being hosted by the Loosenuts Raceway. This event is in partnership with the Empire Insurance Group. Empire has reached out to several national companies for support of their free raffle on Saturday night with amazing results. The outpouring of local support, however, was simply incredible. Donations came in from other tracks in the series like FTR, Southern Artsy, The Toy Box, Rick's Hobby Farm, and Loosenuts Raceway. Corey and Alec have brought along young gun Carter Gosh. Carter missed round 1 and is excited to put his associated Nitro T4 on the track. Loosenuts Raceway is a hidden gem on the private lands of the Sletton family. The clay surface is fantastic and offers up a solid surface, which can become very high grip when grooved. This event has always fallen on Father's Day weekend and has become a tradition. With all the father and son teams, it seems an ideal way to spend the holiday. We look forward to spending an awesome weekend with friends and family at round 2 of the MNRC Off-road Racing Series.
So we're here at Loosenuts, round 2. Carter with us this weekend, but he doesn't know everything that's going on this weekend. In fact, I got something for him. Well, bam!
Dang.
You ready to race the nitro buggy?
I guess so.
So this is Alec's old car. Totally refurbished it. We got new bearings in it, new TRB bearings. Gone through all the diffs, shocks. Painted a B4 body, which looks sick on it. It's actually a B3.2. and Carter knew nothing about it. We got an Adam Drake Nova Rossi in it that we dropped new ceramics in. Seems to be running pretty good on the box. We'll see what happens on the track, but little man knew nothing about it. Now he's gonna run nitro buggy.
Yeah, you can throw that e-buggy, you know, in the truck.
We don't need charging.
You're not gonna run that.
No.
Give us some words, Carter. How do you feel about that?
Excited.
Excited?
It'll be fun.
Excited to run another nitro class.
Well, we're excited building it. In fact, your dad was in on it.
That's why he asked me if I would want to run nitro buggy if I could.
So it's got platinum Send It servos. Sean Van Dalen got those for us. Your dad came over and we put a high-tech receiver in it, got it dialed in, so on your models there's a nitro buggy, so I had to tell you before you found that. And yeah, life pack, Nova Rossi. We got other motor options. We thought we'd start with the Drake, but we'll see how it goes. Should be fun. We're excited.
Yeah.
Alex sends Carter out for his first laps with the nitro buggy. The track is pretty green yet, so Carter is running the Whips racing tire from Sweep. They should provide pretty good traction and allow Carter to get a good feel for the car. Carter has been running an e-buggy prior to today, so he has a pretty good feeling for the characteristics of a buggy. Generally, the power band of an e-buggy can be harder to drive, so he will most likely adapt pretty quickly to the nitro car. The team takes time this first session to get the engine adjusted. So far things are looking pretty good. The Nova Rossi Drake edition is running strong. The car setup should be pretty neutral and easy to drive. Doesn't take too long and Carter looks like he is ready to qualify. It is later in the day and qualifying heats are being run. Here we take a lap with Greg Bolmel. You can see the rubber groove developing in the racing line. The track was treated with calcium chloride at the rebuild. This will help retain moisture and reduce the breakdown of the surface. This will slow the development of, yep you guessed it, character. Due to the weather forecasted for tomorrow, the racers have chosen to push the event into one day. 2 qualifiers will be run, then straight to the mains. This will make for a very busy, fast-paced and hectic day.
That was not the greatest start.
It's okay, regroup. They're only seconds in front of you. Keep that in mind.
The Nitro Buggy B main is underway. Carter isn't happy with his start. He will just need to focus and charge forward.
Okay, you're back where you started now. The only place to go is further up, but
Carter started 5th and is currently where he is positioned, right behind Trent Ignashevsky. He went out on the Sweep Nanobite tire in blue compound, and his grip level looks pretty good. Trent would make an error and end up off the track.
Whiting with a flame out early.
Whiting with the flame out.
12 minutes before we go. Whiting does have speed, so this will be interesting to see what can happen. He was your number 2 qualifier in the C-Main.
Carter would make some mistakes of his own, putting Trent right back on his wing. A little flop in the corner, and the Miyako rips by.
That's a position.
Carter makes a little contact with Trent, who was a victim of the crater on the pitcher mound corner. The track has developed a few additional obstacles for the racers to worry about, but really hasn't changed too much today. The track crew has done an excellent job. This is a 30-minute race. It will take some consistency to remain at the front of this field. There are several A final regulars in this race, and a few young guns who have shown they have the speed to get it done.
A second now, O'Reilly upside down in that double-double section.
Oof, there's that big crater in the corner, tough one to avoid right in the apex of the off-camber. This corner has a pretty good black groove developing, adding grip for the approach to the double jumps. Generally, Carter's team-associated buggy looks pretty good. He can carry decent speed through the corners, and doesn't look nervous on power. His suspension looks good, the right amount of pack yet smooth through the whoops. Even with the track groove developing, there is still fluff at the edges. Carter gets wide here and the dust flies.
Kids been practicing over at FCR Raceway, putting in work.
This race is getting close to the end. Carter is still sitting in the 4th position. He needs to make top 3 to bump into the A final.
Carter in the 4, CJ Wise, your top 5.
Is KP in front of me on track, or is he?
He's on track. He's through the double. He's on the double right now. Got to keep hitting your marks. He's close now, he's right in front of you. Get your marks, bud.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be turned around on there.
Carter's still there, 2.4 seconds back. Now only 1 second back, but Carter putting in a late race charge to catch KP for the bump spot.
Carter's late race consistency has rewarded him, not to mention clocking some of his fastest laps here at the end. He now has KP reins in his sights, but passing him will be a challenge.
There you go.
There's KP in front of me now?
Yep. There's Frank Miller in front of you too. Good job. Wow.
Carter didn't lift much for Frank, and nearly pulls off a quick pass, but cut it a little too close to the inside. Now he risks falling into more traffic, which could hinder his forward progress. No mistakes are important as ever in this situation.
With 1:45 to go, Carter back 2.5 seconds now.
God, I'm shivering. I'm like, not
Focus.
shivering.
Focus.
From Carter. Oh, maybe a little loose coming into those rhythm section. Now pretty much a great pass going through there. We tore those whoops up today. That's fun. I like it. 1 minute to go. Pressure's on KP right now, coming through the double-double. The youngster looking to try and move on. .48 seconds to go.
That's second and third in front.
Carter got 2.2 back, made up 3/5 that lap. Carter running his fastest lap of the race right there. 28.2 from Carter. KP getting held up just a little
He is
bit.
fairly clear of the traffic now and has hunted down KP once again.
Oh, KP into the pipe.
There it is, bud. Smooth it out now.
KP out.
KP would end up against the tube and had an unfortunate flame out. This would drop him all the way to 5th.
It's not over. Stay upright.
You say 5 or 15?
5.
Okay.
None.
Oh,
Nice job. Nice
the
job.
last half of that was like push, 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 push.
Hey Riley, can you come here for a minute?
Why were you driving like that? What were you doing? It seemed like you were stopping. I was just gonna follow you.
Are you sweaty?
Very.
Good job. Good job. Wow, what a great race. Danny B from the pole. Checks out a little bit, gets out front comfortable, kind of becomes untouchable. Running a great race, he executed perfectly. No incidents in the pits. Punches his ticket to the big show. Second, third, and fourth, however, Tyler Aubert, KP Rains, and Carter Gosh battling to the end. KP and Tyler were having quite a battle for that second position, actually swapping it out a few times. And Carter just sat in the 4th place, running his laps, hitting his marks, and started to push at the end, running his fastest laps right at the end of the race to come within seconds of KP. KP had an incident right at the corner, as you saw, ended up with an unfortunate flame out. Carter would go by and actually pass Tyler as well to take the second position, getting into the big show. And Tyler also transferring then. So pretty proud of the little guy. First time out with this car. Actually first time with a nitro buggy racing ever. And he did a great job. Ran composed. Car handled great for him. And he couldn't have done any better, honestly. So I wanted to talk a little bit about his car and what the setup was on the car, because those of you that might be running an RC8 B3.2, you might want to consider some of these things. The car's really easy to drive, and as shown by Carter. So anyways, let's start out with the differentials. And the differentials, we're running 5K in the front, 7K in the center, and 3K in the rear. This offers a pretty good balance. It allows the car to rotate through the corners with not too much front end pulling the car around, so it's easy to drive. Almost has a slight push condition, so you can push the car pretty hard without getting into trouble. The shock package we have on here, we're running a little heavier than what's stock, what the manual would call for. Running 37.5 in the front, 32.5 in the rear, and we're running the gray spring on the front, the HB yellow spring on the rear, and we're running the 1.2 tapered angled pistons. Pretty good setup. It's kind of a base that we use before we make adjustments. So on the pill configuration, we're running the A block centered and the B block down. In the rear, in the C and D block, we're running the C block center out, and in the D block, we're running down and out. So, been a pretty good setup for us as well. The caster clips, we're running all the clips on the front except one, the 1mm clip. So caster, a lot of caster in the car. Normally when you add caster through the clips, it provides overall steering, not only entering or exit, but overall. What else can I tell you about the car? Clutch configuration. So the clutch configuration is pretty close to stock. I think in fact it is stock right now, running the black spring composite shoe and the aluminum shoe with the green spring. So sometimes we'll increase the weight on the spring one step with the same shoe configuration. It kind of depends on the track and the situation. So Carter's running the Send It RC servos, the HV626s. They worked perfectly for him. They're actually a pretty good value. And also in the rear of the car, we've added the plus 2mm hexes to the rear to add a little bit more lateral stability, and is actually something you can feel in the car. Works pretty good, so I recommend that as well. That's kind of it in a nutshell. No magic going on. Pretty basic setup, and you know, might want to try some of those things yourself. So thanks. Talk to you later.
The Nitro Truggy A final is underway. Due to the shortening of the program today, this final is packed with 14 trucks. This should make for an exciting race with lots of action. Alex started in the 6th position on the grid and is currently running right in front of Kyle and Brody. He has been working on getting more steering into his truck with increased caster, camber, and 0-degree steering arms. With little time to make major changes and test, he had to just go with it. The truck rotates a little too much and Alec drops to 8th.
That's going to put Josh Gordon right on his bumper. They were side by side for a second there.
Brody Ignashevsky, now in front of Alec, scored a podium last year and is one tough customer on the track.
Excuse me, Allen did the 3, Xander's still in 4th. My mistake. 235 down, 235 down. He's doing whatever he can to keep that Hornets Nest of trucks off of him. Here's that orange truck with the white wing. And it's white and white of balance for 6, 7, 8. Brody's in that mix.
Up at the front, Drew Docken leads Alan Smith and Josh Ford. You can see there is not a whole lot of separation in the top 10.
Almost starting to catch the lead pack. So is Lucas. Lucas with a little bit of a bobble there. 3:25 left to go. Oh, Xander looking for something, but nothing's there. Here comes Bobble to the inside.
The top 3 aren't really pressuring each other yet. They know it is a long race. Drew Docken in the orange Mugen is out front, followed by Alan Smith with the white Techno, and Josh Ford with his yellow Mugen.
Excuse me, Drew in the lead. Sorry, it's still down by itself. Drew's still in the lead. 4 or 5 down.
Xander gets a little wide after the tabletop, and Greg shoots to the inside, taking over the 4th position.
If you're going to do 5 first, that's coming up soon. 4:15 down.
Lucas gets off the racing line, and Brody moves ahead on the front stretch. He would then go a little wide in the back corner, and Alec would also go by. It is possible he is dealing with an issue, as there didn't seem to be much fight in him for that position.
4:45 down, 4:45.
Brody and Alec continue to battle, but are moving forward in the process. Brody is doing an awesome job driving a wide truck and defending the line.
Looks like Lucas is already. No, excuse me, that's Brody. Brody's just barely staying ahead of Alec. They're less than a second apart. Frank, Trent, and Kyle are battling for 10, 11, 12. Josh and Pommel.
We could go after this lap, or on this lap, if you want to get away from Brody. You're gonna have to make 2 stops anyway. Okay. So this lap or one more? This lap. See if Brody. I mean, it's up to you. If Brody keeps going, you could go try to get that burn lap in. He's coming to pit. He's coming to pit. Going. Okay.
The strategy is to try and go for a quick lap, and maybe pass with a quicker pit stop.
Gonna be tight. Yep. Sorry. That wasn't your fault, that was me.
Even though the stop was good, either Alec didn't make up time on his pit entry lap, or Brody just had an awesome pit exit lap. The strategy just didn't pan out for them on this go around.
We'll get the gap this time by. Josh Ford's in that 2 spot 3.9 off Allen. Drew Dawkins moves back to the 3 spot, 6/10 in front of Baumel.
Alan Smith is having an awesome race out front with his Techno Truggy. He has put a little gap on Josh Ford and looks comfortable. When a leader gets comfortable, they usually make less mistakes, making it tough for their competition to catch them.
8.7 line, Jeremy, Tony, and Lucas. That's your running order. 10:55 left to go. 10:55 left to go. Curious to see if anyone's doing 10s. I don't think so, though.
The chase continues with Brody. You would think there are plenty of places to pass on this track, but it appears Alec is being patient and wants to be sure it is clean.
Who's falling back to Fred Xander's up to that number 4 spot now. 9:45. Our second place driver.
Oh, Jesus.
10 down, 10 to go, 10 down, 10 to go. Greg Baumel's only 1.7 off Josh. Xander's
Frank Miller darts wide. He knows these guys are at war.
6 off of Xander. Sean 2.5 off Drew. Brody 2.1 off Sean. Alex 1 second off Brody. We got a really tight battle right now at the top of the field, except for Allen's opened up an 8-second lead. Allen's got an 8-second lead.
There you go, man.
Alec finally gets a little help. Brody had been flirting with that track border a few times before, and this time it cost him.
Baumel's a half second off Ford. Ooh, Baumel looking to the inside of Ford. Gives him a little tap, lets him know he's there, but I like that. 9 minutes left to go. 9 minutes.
A little wide there. Alec needs to keep the truck under him and not give the position back. Brody is right there ready for him to return the favor.
Baumel to the inside. They towel. They tangle on the double.
Sean Van Dalen is your next target. He's just going over the double-double.
11:30 down, 8:30 left to go. If you're reversing it. Sean Van Dalen, 3.7 on Xander for that 5 spot. Alec is 2.7 off Sean. Baumel 2.2 off of Ford. Ford 11.4 off of Allen. Xander and Drew battling like crazy for that 4th spot. 7:55 left to go.
Got to be Alan Smith behind you. Yeah, is that Sean right in front of me or a lapper? That's Sean. Okay.
$7.40. If you're reversing it.
Pick up a tow.
Sometimes when a faster truck passes you, you can tuck in behind and follow their line, occasionally called getting a tow. For some reason it suddenly becomes easier to go faster when chasing.
That opened up only a 4/10 gap between him and Xander. And Drew got a 27, but Xander a 26.
Do you want to stay with Alan or come in for fuel? I'll try to stick with Alan, okay?
All around the track. Xander in the pit. 7 to go. With the fuel stick.
Do we have to? Van Dalen's in. We should pit this lap. Okay. Oh shit.
6:45 left to go.
Damn it.
Here comes Baumel. $6.30 left. Coming up next is going to be your Sportsman and Mini Truck.
Alec gets the pit lane entry wrong, but times the tumble perfectly.
We're out in front of Brody.
Alan Smith and his Techno Truggy would take the win today, followed by Greg Bowmel and Drew Docken. Xander Johnson would sneak into fourth, with Josh Ford rounding out the top 5.
Xander got by Doc and 5:25 left, 5:25 left.
Next up is the Nitro Buggy Final.
Oh, Greg upside down trying to double in.
Kyle Holmberg would lead the group out from the pole and pretty much check out. He would lap the field with his ultimate powered team associated RC8V4. Kyle has been running the new rear weight bias chassis and is getting it dialed in.
12 to 6. Wow, that's the big mover right there. Is Tyler, their last place bump spot all the way up to 6th place.
Alec and Carter would both have terrible starts and are at the back of the field. As the race went on, the team would struggle with engine tune and temps, suffering some flameouts in the process. They had put a new gallon of fuel in the rotation, and it would turn out later there were some issues with the mix.
Greg Bonnell, 4 seconds back to go, and Tony Hunt now 3 tenths back, so Greg taking that number 3 spot back.
All the prep and work put in to have an inconsistent fuel mix can be frustrating. Things like this can prompt for a product change. We will see what the team decides for the future.